going to do on this exciting DVD is we're going to save this Softail frame. So, real quick, I have all this tubing. I got it just a skosh bit too long, because when you try and fish mount this stuff to fit around one pipe to another, you might mess up, so you can cut it back and start again. If you get it to fit good, then you cut the back off straight to meet where you got to meet. We're going to make slugs that slip into the backbone to a new piece, and the same thing down here. We'll get this all together. We'll make all the little pieces, and I haven't decided yet. You can go either way, and a lot of guys are like, oh my God, you're going to have to TIG weld that. Well, yeah, you really should TIG weld it. TIG welding is a beautiful process. But what do you think these guys did back in like 1968, 1972? They broke out a stick welder. It's 220, gets good penetration. So I might stick weld this. I might give it to one of the guys I know to TIG weld it. I have another frame, depending upon how much time I have on tapes and everything making this and how much will fit on a DVD. I've got another frame we can do some other stuff on, so I can show you as much as possible about saving this old beat up junk. So anyway, enough talking. Let's get into some of the stuff. You can see what I was welding. It's kind of a hack thing to do, but what I did was I welded the frame right to the table. I don't want to take any chances. I really don't do much frame work. I don't do a lot of stuff like this, so if I mark the surface of my frame table, so be it. So that's what we got. Like I said, I got this all set up. I tack welded it right to the table with the measurements defined, so I know I'm not going to have an issue of it moving around. I got to reset this neck now. And I determined from measuring from some of these other bikes my dad's got and what I've got, about, how far out I want the neck to be from the seat post and everything, or this, that, and the other thing. So that's how I found this position here. If I wanted a really long stretch, I could have just set the frame up further back and done everything. So right now, let me get you back to where it was. Most motorcycles, I'd say, especially Harleys, are at 30 degrees. So I've got this indicator, which actually has a bubble on it, right there. And this is like a real Jurassic antique. I've got all my, even though it's old and rusty, I can still read it. I got all my degrees and everything in the back. There's also, let me go grab it real quick, be right back. Now this is old and beat to death, but you can get one of these jammies from Sears. I would say it's not really precise like something that's digital, but you get it up there and you can see where the line reads, and you can work with that. I would have to say that if something's a little this way, that way, kind of, sort of, maybe, it's going to be pretty good. As long as your welds hold, you're good. And I'll tell you right now, you go ahead and do this at home, and you bolt this thing down to a wood bench or a steel milk crate or something, and you weld this together with a battery charger and a coat hanger or a 110 MIG welder, and the neck comes off. Don't come running to me, man, because that's the work you did. I'm just showing you how I do things. This is my disclaimer. This is for entertainment value, and I'm just showing you how I do things in my garage, and how, this is mine, and I'm confident about what I do and whatnot. Like I had said, I might just tack weld everything with my MIG welder and take this to a guy to have it all TIG welded, so I know it's right on the money. But, it's up to you. You guys at home, you do what you want. Me, even though I'm very confident about my welds, I just might, for the insurance, have a certified, NHRA dude or aircraft welder do it for me. Why not, Anyway, back to this. You can set this up. You gotta remember now, you're working with your frame table. This is your 180 degree horizon and 90 degrees up. You want to go 30 degrees off that 90. That's gonna be 90, 100, 10, 20. So 120 degrees when you're reading something. That's what I have on this. So let me get this back to where it was. That bubble sits really nice and perfect in there. I'm going to have to stand on a milk crate or something to get up there. Give me 1 sec to grab a milk crate. And that's pretty special right there. Now again, I can even check it with this. See how that is. This thing's got so much paint overspray on it, it's hard to read. But this, yep, that's right on the money, guys. 30 degrees. So let's tighten this up, make sure it don't move on us again. Well, it didn't move on us, I had to move it to show you guys how I made this junk. And because I did that with the wrench, we'll go back and check it once more. You see, and that kind of changed it a little bit, so I'm glad I checked. That thing is so tight, every time I bop this with my hand, it doesn't move a whole lot. But there we go. That's extremely copacetic. Yep. I'll even try this one again. That's the thing right there, the cat's pajamas, kids. So, really at this point, for lack of a better way to describe it, this is where it has to be. And the frame is where it has to be. So we gotta just fill in the blanks. All right guys, I'm all set to work on my top frame tube. And what I've done is made myself a nice hot pot of coffee, stuck it in my thermos, because the garage is a little cold today. Put that in my parts washer. But I determined by holding up a piece of steel against the frame and then up to the neck where I wanted it to be, and then putting my little indicator on there that the where the neck would be and where the top backbone is that I would need to blow a hole saw through my top backbone pipe at 16 degrees. Now if I remember right, if you're doing like a rigid frame, it's like I think 11 degrees. Don't quote me on that. That's what I think. So what I've done is I've got my beat to death, I think World War II era Delta drill press here. And it has a tilting table. So I took my level indicator, I set it up for, I think I showed you this not that long ago, but I set it up for 16 degrees on here. It's got little tick marks and stuff on there. I don't know if that shows up too fantastic, and it's got a bubble. Like I say, if you really want to be super ridiculous precise, all this digital stuff they have out today is fantastic. But I always try to show everybody how you can cobble stuff together with a stick and a rock. And like I say, it might not be perfect, but this is how the guys used to do things, and you know, well, most of them are still alive, you know. So I set this up on the table, like so, and I looked at my bubble, and so I got my table set to 16 degrees. So now I need to figure out where I'm going to be here. So I don't want to just drill off to the side. I'm going to drill a pilot hole with a 1/4-inch drill bit, because most of your hole saws, and I've got one here, this is now I need a 2-inch hole, but I'm using 1 7/8 inches because these usually tend to wobble that little bit, so it'll end up, after I deburr it, it'll end up being 2 inches, you know? So I'd rather go a little too small and open it up little by little at a time and get it to its like, nice perfect fit. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. So before I go putting this through, most hole saws have that 1/4-inch drill bit in them. So I got a drill bit in there, I'm ready to knock it out. So I've taken my caliper, my veneer, whatever you want to call it, my measuring thingamabobby, and I've set it up for the OD of my backbone is 1.5 inches. So this is half of that. That would be 3/4 inch. And I'll show you what I do up close. But I put this in here and I make my little tick marks halfway across, and then I'll take my ruler and I'll make a guideline so I know exactly where that drill bit's got to go. And I'll zoom the camera in so I can show you that up close and personal like. I think you can see that one dot I've already got there. But I put this in right against the jaw, and I know it probably should be like this, but we're working with what we got. So I make my little mark, and there it is, and then I'll check from the opposing side, you know, and it's just that little skosh off. Make my mark. Okay, so obviously let's just drill right between those two. And that should be pretty copacetic. I know it's not super accurate. This isn't real metal smithing at its best, but it's going to work, and you'll see. Now I'll put this, now because the mark is going to set off to the side a little bit, I'll put it right on these 2 dots, my 2 tick marks, and I'll make my line, and it should fall right between the 2. So there we go. So now I don't want to drill so far up the tube. I want to preserve as much tube as possible. So I'll bring this down to about yay. Oh, let me get my marker again. I don't know what I just did with it. Well, anyway, right across here I'll make a little tick mark with my marker, and then we'll drill from there. So let me pull the camera back, and actually I'll leave the camera right there, and we'll do this. Here we go. So I'm guessing like, I don't know, I'll say right around that neck of the woods. So now that being said, I can drop this down, and that's going to fall pretty good right there. I'll lock that up, and I got these dials on here where I can move this milling machine vise, you know, north and south and east and west. So that's what we're going to do. We'll back this up this way. And I got to tell you, I bought this drill press here at a tool auction. I don't know if I got hosed or ripped off or anything, but I paid $100 for it. But I tell you, I've had it for a long time, and it works pretty good for what I'm doing. Now I'm guessing that this drill bit is probably going to jump around a little bit, so I'm going to put this machine on, and I'm going to go ahead and go really slow. And I'm going to try and just kind of set that pilot all by its lonesome, really nice and easy. Yeah. That's dancing around a little too much for me. So I don't like that it's dancing around. So what I'll do is I'll just go in there with a smaller drill bit, and I'll chase it through. I'll turn the video back on when we work my way when I work my way back up to the 1/4" drill bit. So just give me a couple of seconds, guys. I'll make this right. And you can see I've got that right on there. The trick was getting a nice short, stout, strong drill bit, and that's 1/4". I don't know if that's going to focus. There we go. As you can see, I got it right in there pretty good. So let's just go on straight through now. That's going to be too short. That's going to be too short for me to get all the way through. But I'll at least get this side, get a little tick in it. And I'll switch it out now to the bigger drill bit, the longer one. That's 1/4". All right, so we're on our way, man. Let's get this bit out. And we'll chuck up our 1 7/8" hole saw. Now, it's like I said, I know this isn't using a milling machine or, you know, not using a milling machine or anything super fancy. You know, I'm not Mr. Master chopper builder. I'm just a guy in my garage. And I enjoy doing this stuff. I enjoy sharing it with you guys. You know, showing you, you don't need all these high-dollar, highfalutin Rodeo California Drive, machines. This, like I said, this is a used drill press. I think I bought this table at some, I don't know, swap meet or something for like $20, So had good action on it. Hey, I use it and it works. What can I say? So you guys, you can get a lot of stuff done if you just use your head. It's too bad they don't teach shop class in school anymore, because man, I loved shop class. That was the coolest thing in the world. That was like, it was like 6th to 7th period in junior high school for me. I took print shop and wood shop and metal shop and ceramics. It was great, man. I couldn't wait. It was like having a break in the day for an hour. Now I'm going to stop right there, because something I can see is I went a little too far in, and the other side is going to start cutting this here. Now I don't know if maybe I should cut this off a little to make my life a little easier. I could just use a cutoff wheel, a Whizzy wheel, and knock that down without even taking it out of here. I think that's something I might like to do, because I don't want this jumping around any more than it's got to, because the vibration might loosen something up, and so I'm I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Give me a couple, hate to keep stopping and going, but these are the same little conundrums and stumbling blocks you cats might be, bumping into along the merry road of doing your own stuff. That's that. Let's, I'll put the camera back and let's get back on this. Pretty slick, huh? So there we go. What we're going to do now is, I guess I'll take it out of the milling vise there, table vise, whatever you want to call it, the $20 thingamabob. And let's run it over to the welding table and check it out against that neck and make sure everything's copacetic. So what I'm going to do is, saying all that, this is going to be like this, and right around here on the frame, I'm going to give that a little kick in. So this is going to come up to there. I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to bend it, and it'll have a nice little kick. That's why I have so much meat on here. Now that I know this is going to sit really nice on the frame, and I'll try and hold it there, and I'll get in there and I'll show you guys. It's kind of just like that. I got a good cut right there, guys. So I think that's pretty special. You can see she fits really good, and it's nice, tight, and snug and everything, and that's what you want. You don't want to be, where am I? Okay, you don't want to be like filling these awesome giant gaps. Ugh. The end here fits really nice and snug up against the neck, okay? So we don't want to leave it like this. What we're going to do is, this is like this angle right here. We're going to clean up the outside with like a Rolock grist. Yeah, I want some grits with my eggs. With a Rolock disc, so we have that angle. So when it goes to get welded, it's got a place for the weld to go, and we get good penetration, and this thing ain't going anywhere then. All right, guys. So you remember how sharp those edges were before, and I hope that focus is good. You can see now how I've got it. And we'll get it up there in that frame neck and zoom in and show you. That little bit of a spot there. See if I can't zoom in any better. Move this down. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Not too easy. But we can see you got a really nice fit in there. And it's a little loose because, there we go. Now we're better. Had it sitting wrong on the frame. But that'll fill in there really nice. That's the right thing. That's what you should be looking for. And that's it. So that's the fit we want. And I put my pipe in here. I put it up in the bike, and I was like, right about here. And I made my mark about where I thought that bend should be for the backbone. It's not going to take much of a bend to do what we got to do. And I got this, in here. You can't just willy-nilly throw this pipe in here. What I did was I got the pipe. Here's my line at the top, so I know it's like vertical, and this is the top of the tube. I don't want to put the bend on the wrong side. So this is the top of the tube. It's where my line is, and that's how I got it. We're going to bend this puppy. And I can kind of look in there and get a quick visual of what's going on. So I'll bend it just enough. It's going to have some spring back, so we're going to have to account for that. And I'm going to guess that's pretty good. I don't want to really push my luck, because you can't really bend it back so easy. All right. So you can see that tube's got a very slight little kick in it. Now I'm going to keep doing it a little at a time like that, like I said, until I get it. So, yeah, I'm thinking, it needs to be bent more. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll keep going back and forth with that now that I know I got it. And I'll mess with this a little bit at a time. Give it a little bit of a bend, put it back, a little bit of a bend, and we'll get it right on the money. You'll see. And I know it's like there's a lot of really nice benders out there. This is probably going to leave a little bit of a step in there, but like I say, it's what we got. We're just guys in our backyard. We don't have, like, you know, what's it cost? You know, let's say $2,000 for a nice pneumatic, you know, air-driven hydraulic bender or something. So I got this for free. It's what I'm using, and that's how we're going to do it. All right, guys, I'm back out here. I'm still futzing with this pipe. And what I've got is I try and set it up and get it on there, just underneath, so I can see like how those angles and stuff are going to be. So this is what I've been doing. The front will be a little further down on the actual neck. I get it nice on the neck where the fit should be, and I can tell I got to bend it, you know, just a little bit more. So I'm going to go on over here to my pipe bender, right over there. And we'll shove this in here and see what we get. At least try and get it to be better. And I've already done this quite a few times. I'm just trying to get it, you know, give or take, like I say, in that right neighborhood. And I think that probably got us pretty good. So that should be good. I'll go up to where I gotta be. So now I gotta determine, like, you know, where I'm gonna cut this. And I can't just do it the way I did it, because it'll end up a little too long. So I'm going to have to kind of eyeball it, cut it off, put it up, eyeball it, put it up, cut it off, and deal with that. So with my Sharpie in hand, let me give this at least a good guess. So it's kind of sort of close enough. That's right there. So give me a couple seconds. I'm going to go in the back, and it'll take a minute or two to cut this on my bandsaw. And we're going to come back and, you know, just keep trying until we get it right. And I don't see that being too fugly. I think it looks pretty good. And not too shabby. Just like I say, you gotta just, instead of just cutting it and then having it end up too short, you wasted all the time and effort. So I'll cut a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. I'm doing it the same way anybody else in their backyard or tool shed is going to be doing it. And she seems better. Well, one thing I forgot. I got to drill holes in the side of this. When I slip it on, I can rosette weld it. Now I got to take that other piece out and rosette weld that and put the slug back in. I put my holes in there. I had a time and a half getting that piece out. I had to heat this up a little bit and put some vice grips on it and wiggle it out. I'm still recovering from my wound, but yeah, I got my rosette weld holes in there. Yeah, what do I keep hitting over there? It keeps hurting. And I ground off the outside face, and I cleaned up the inside so that I can get that sleeve in there now. I don't know what I did with it now. It was just here. Here we go. So I also put this back in the lathe, seeing as how I had it out, and I cleaned up the outside of the piece that goes in the backbone a little bit to make it a little easier to go on. And I still got to get pounded in there, it looks like. Now I'll be smarter and put a piece of wood on the face. And I'll go ahead and get that back in there now. Like I say, there's a whole lot of on, off, and anything custom that you do. It's just the nature of the beast, the name of the game, and the way it is. And there we go, man. Woo! That's the right thing, man, right there. Now we just gotta make sure we got make sure we got the backbone so it's not like this way or that way. Now we can tilt this. Bada bing, bada boom. Not too shabby, right, guys? And You can go back and check the angle of our dangle. And that, you know, I'll zoom the camera in. That sits nice. Try and give you can see how nice that is all the way around. And right, I'm gonna try and get the camera so I can get it up on high. All up in here, just where I wanted it. Just like, you see this here? This is where the race is, right in here. Oh, where are you? Race is right here. And I got that little bevel I put in here and down, and that's right in there. Right across. It's gonna look like a factory job. Oh, well, factory location, I should say. But see that? How nice that fits? You want that nice tight fit, man. Try and go around and underneath a little. So, and we'll show you the back. Here I got my the rosette weld there, rosette weld there. I've got my frame pieces. This is like the piece I cut off to get in there. And you know, when I'm done, I'll, oh, there we are. I'll take this out, weld it back in. And it kind of goes right into where the bend is. So when you look back, that's gonna look pretty slick. Not too shabby. And you can see how I got this here beveled that little bit. And see how nice the fit is? That nice tight right there? I'm going to bevel this a little bit, the backbone pipe. So I got this. This is nice. This is beautiful. I'm a happy guy. I hope you guys are happy guys. I want to take this pipe off, and I'm going to go in here and bevel that edge like I said, and I'm going to slide it all back together. I'm not tack welding nothing yet, because I still want to be able to move this back and forth. And that's going to make my life a little bit easier when I go to do these down tubes. Now the down tube, I would like the down tube to come up from here. And you know, a chopper aftermarket frame would be right here. They got that big ugly plate. I like a sexy factory looking stock neck. So that pipe's gonna end up right here on this here backbone pipe, just like the factory. And then I'll put that triangular piece in and then a flat piece of plate steel underneath. It's gonna look badass, man. Please like